As a veteran, small business owner, what can we do for you?
What we can all do for all veteran business owners is promote each other.
My main mission was to look at tools and technology to leverage small business and give them more of a competitive advantage.
My mission for Veteran Bargains is very simple: to help vets.
That story in itself, to run for Vista City Council, is a journey.
I think this is an opportunity to really collaborate with those gone before us.
It's really kind of a labor of love.
And now your host.
Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Welcome to, once again, this Veteran Radio Show. This is episode 9. I'm your host, Laura Torres, and on the back, our producer, Michael Woods, our chamber founder and CEO, Joseph Molina, is here, and monitoring our comments, Dali Rivero, our show engagement manager. On this particular show, we have a fabulous guest straight from North Carolina, Michael Penney, who is a combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan. He served in the United States Marine Corps Infantry with the 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines, deploying twice to Ramadi, Iraq in 2006, 2005, 2006, 2007. And so without further ado, I want to bring him on board, but I also want to bring in Joe so he can greet us and welcome Michael Penney as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, Michael. And it's always a pleasure to bring veterans into our show, as we call this segment, Heroes in Action. And that's really what we want to showcase, is showcase people like you who have been in the forefront of and defending our freedom, serving our country, like we all, like we all do. And we all miss that part of our life. But now we are into a new ventures. But one of our goals is to continue serving those who served. And, whether it's veterans directly like us, spouses like Laura, moms like Rhonda, or daughters and sons of our veterans. Because when we go in, the whole family goes in. So we want to make sure that we honor them as well. Because I remember, Mom used to send me my favorite food. I was up in Alaska, and I miss that. So it's a family affair. Even though we're the only ones carrying that rifle, that weapon, but it's everybody else who comes in with us, supporting us along the way. So we're very thankful and grateful for them as well. But I just wanted to thank you for participating in our radio show. And your talent and your background will give tremendous amount of information and validity to our show. We really thank you. So happy to have you on board. And with this, I'm going to let Laura go with the interview, and then we'll touch base later and also after the show.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. And once again, welcome, Mr. Michael Penney. And if I may share with our audience that since you were served honorably with our Marine Corps Armed Forces, you have participated as a TEDx speaker in Raleigh, North Carolina in March of 2016. You're also, right after that, became the creator of the 5-paragraph business plan. Currently, you're working as an advisor to the business leaders around the globe, calling upon the military experience, bringing in all the assets, so to make sure that everybody's trained, advised, and following consistent best business practices, implementing your 5-paragraph business plan. So thank you so much for all the resources that you're about to share with us, because we're very excited to talk to you. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
To be here.
Absolutely. We are very excited for you. And as Joe mentioned, this is Heroes in Action. And, this is an opportunity for us to highlight local military affiliated service members, as well as military spouses, family members, and everyone who has, served in our community, and make sure that we are highlighting and amplifying their business message. But I want to go back a little bit about you and your early career as a Marine and the Marines as a Marine. And if you would please just share with us a little bit of what is the first story that comes in mind in your life in the military?
Sure. So it has to be my first real field experience out in the Fleet Marine Force. I was brand new coming out there in early spring 2005. with 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines Weapons Company. And we had displaced our whole battalion from 29 Palms, California to March Air Force Base, California. And this was the first time that I figured out where I really fit into the overall mix of things. I got to see the coordination, of course, take part in it, in displacing the battalion down there, but then being involved in the overall field exercises for the first time. That was actually the very first ever moment that I was exposed to the 5-paragraph operations order and where I fit into the overall plan and how to delegate action and what my role was going to be in that. So it was very, very early on as a private in the Marine Corps that I figured out where I was within that overall matrix of things. So that's got to be the first clear memory. Also on that field op, I wound up doing some SESM training, which is paint rounds, right, out of our M16. I got shot in both my thighs with some paint rounds. That was a very eye-opening experience for me, especially getting ready for Iraq. Hey, you don't want this to happen. So that real-world training was hugely eye-opening to my very young Marine mind at the time of only 18 years old. So that's got to be the one that sticks out the clearest in my memory.
Thank you for sharing that, and I hope that from those experiences you promptly have been able to recover and you're enjoying good health, and most importantly that you have created a positive story towards your future business life, because you have created this amazing product that is helping a lot of our local veterans nationwide, actually not just locally but nationwide, and everyone, but most importantly those that come in touch with you locally, because I imagine this is such a great momentum and such a great proud moment for you to share this product. Now tell me a little bit about your company, your nonprofit. How do you deliver these services to our community?
Sure. So 5paragraph.com was really a light bulb moment a long time before. One of my previous companies where I had invented a product, brought it all the way to market, was looking to structure a team around me to be able to actually make it a success, bring it all the way to market, and really sell this product. And as I was talking to an investor about the overall product and what I was trying to do, that's when I had my light bulb moment. And when we were done, we were walking out of our meeting, he looked at me and he said, "You're a sergeant in the Marine Corps, right?" It's like, "Yeah." "Okay, well, why didn't you just brief this to me in operations order format?" Boom. So the light bulb went off and I started doing more research, because just the operations order format's not going to be enough. You have to be able to hold that up with all of the proper business terminology that we're talking about. Right, so it's the operations order and it's the nuts and bolts of great business plans. I've had an extensive education in entrepreneurship as well as business leadership, not just through schooling, but also through other veteran-ran focused entities that are out there. There are fantastic resources for veterans who are focused in entrepreneurship to go out there and get great education. And so what I did is I put together the 5-paragraph operations order with the nuts and bolts of great business plans, bringing this together. And that's what you see here, the 5-paragraph business plan, the action-oriented business management tool for leaders. So that's where it started. I was sharing the book with a whole lot of other veterans. They were interested in it. And then I was sitting on a flight out to Dallas for another speaking engagement, and a guy was reading Simon Sinek's Leaders Eat Last. And I nudged him and said, "You know, he stole all that stuff from the Marines, right?" And we had a good chuckle over it. And I explained what I was up to at 5P. He, never having served a day in the military, it snapped. All of a sudden, he got it. And so that was my first ever client, just having presented the business plan idea, working together with him at the dining room table, putting together a solid plan of how they were going to actually grow their entity. So it's interesting, they've grown from 7 to 42 states now and are up to $580 million annually. They're on our testimonials on there. But what's interesting is I originally conceived it thinking I was going to be able to directly help fellow veterans because we have this military methodology. That's where we're coming from. I was more shocked than anyone in the world when I came to the realization of how many people were out there in the business workforce right now who need this military management method and have never served a day in the military. It's very interesting. And so it plays very well with audiences, with business leaders who have never served a day in uniform, and we go through the entire military management method, which is plan, act, debrief, and then you combine that into after action reports, combine that into an after action review, and that's the cycle of operations. So folks can check it out at 5paragraph.com, same way that we run stuff in the military. It's how we get all of the branches to talk together. And it's a very human, intuitive method to be able to get your vision out of your head down on paper in a manifest destiny, pull your team around you, be able to go and execute. So you've seen it work with people who've never served a day in the military because it's such a human, intuitive method. So, yep, 5paragraph.com, check it out.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. And like we said in the Marine Corps, right? That is something that I definitely will look forward to try it out. One of the things I definitely love about my job out in the communities, I love to try everything that I come in contact with. So this is definitely the 5 paragraph, definitely sold to me. And the fact that you are going to be able to walk me into a very structured and very organized process into business planning, that it's even by far a big soul for me. So thank you. Now, one of the things that I also want to just ask you is, in our business world, we all encounter challenges, right? It makes us either sometimes very successful, or sometimes it just makes us refocus our strengths or just our product as well. So what are some of the challenges that you have come across, and maybe because of this particular process of tying it in with the military, that you might have experienced in challenges, but also how have you been able to overcome these and made it successful for your business?
Sure, really. I got to tell you, tenacity is the greatest trait and probably the most common that you're going to find amongst entrepreneurs and veterans alike. Tenacity, just being willing to push through the struggle and knowing that there is a solution along the way. I can tell you, in the very early stages, when I was trying 5P out, I was just going around with a black marker and a red marker. And I wrote the 5, and I wrote the backwards Pilcrow, as you see on our logo here. And I would go through, what is the 5 paragraphs? And I was chatting with folks about how that worked. And I had a huge name. One of the, I don't even want to say his name, but he was involved in big tech. And he was like, you should never use military terms in business. That immediately, it was like, okay, wait a minute, I've got to be onto something. Because if the big, if I can say the word monopoly, that are out there, they definitely don't want to see small businesses, especially veteran-owned businesses, come up and rolling. We're empowering everybody. Military operational, specialties are being employed. So it's difficult because with some folks who are just so ingrained with these other management methods, plan, do, check, act. Six Sigma is one of them, but it's not really a management method. It's more getting into the complexities and the minutia of it. Gifford Pinchot III talked about entrepreneurship. We're much closer to that. And really, we stick within that, the defining principles of what the godfather of the MBA originally constructed or conceived, Peter F. Drucker. So that's the irony, is that I'll go in and I'll talk with folks who are higher education as far as within the master's in business administration field. And they're saying we need top-down approach, plan, do, check, act, make sure that it's results-driven, get the same thing every time. Well, you can still do that, and you can still pay attention to your people. Because what you're going to see is the big, huge advantage of 5P is that instead of having one telescope at the top looking down from the 30,000-foot perspective, each one of your leaders at every rank within your organization, wherever they are, has a scope. And so if you delegate the ability to take action, then you need to delegate the ability to observe that action and then actually take that feedback into account on the next go around. It has been a hurdle working with some folks who are traditionally educated in the premise of top down, look at the results at the bottom. Okay, now we got to tinker with something else. And no one get out of line. We got to figure this stuff out, right? Everybody's got to do their job all of the time. But they're not taking the observations into account from the lowest rank on up. So I can tell you that has been the big hurdle in discussing this, especially within the management circles. I can definitely articulate the argument for why everybody between Milton Friedman to Thomas Sowell to General Madison himself, including Donald Trump, I have a letter from him on the wall, right? So I know for a fact that leaders out there definitely get military management method and want to apply it. Now, I can tell you right now, a hurdle, literally as of today, my website was down. My website was down for 2.5 hours earlier. I was putting out fires earlier. Whoa, wait a minute. Hello. You got to go on a live event and your website's down. And what does it have to do with? Well, it could have been the hosting platform, could have been where we were sending traffic originally. These fires are the daily things that you need to stay sharp, sound mind, body, judgment, and have the tenacity to just go through and push it. I say that just from the heart as a humbling moment where I'm sitting here sweating it out earlier today, making sure that my website was up and everything was pristine and all of this other stuff. And one small fire can turn into a big fire unless you're ready to mitigate it. But someone on my team was the one who brought it to my attention in a completely different area. And it's because they have the delegated authority and the responsibility to go through and make sure that they're monitoring all of these things. When they make an observation and they contact me, I take it seriously. And they are priority one, right?
Absolutely.
And they're civilians. That's what's great.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad that you are able to overcome all these challenges and that you saw that there was actually something in your product that because of civilians or maybe just the military lingo was not quite accepted, that you were able to actually turn it into a positive note for yourself and a business plan. And so I applaud you for that. And the fact, no worries, we are going to share your website after this event, and we're going to continue to help you grow your business and make sure that you're amplifying your message. Now, let me just real quick recap. We're talking to Michael Penney, who is a Marine Corps combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan word. He's also an author, creator, and TEDx speaker. And we're talking about his 5-paragraph business plan, sharing best practices and how he came to identify such a great product for military service members who really connect with this type of mindset. Now, Mr. Michael, tell us real briefly a little bit about your mission, because part of your 5 business plan mission is to provide planning and management training, a network of mastermind and long-term advisor support for business leaders. So how is that currently tying in with our local community, with everything that is going on?
Sure. We're focused on upper tier small business getting ready to grow in a medium business. You have your processes in place. You know how you're making money based on what you're doing out in the field. You need help as far as the management method overall. You need a simple method to be able to delegate your authority while maintaining accountability. The military understands this. We've understood it for over 240 plus years. Applying the military management method to that small to medium-sized business through economic gardening, that enables them to grow. Okay, so that right there is who we're focused on right now. And that is no military experience required whatsoever. Okay, so 5P, the mission of 5P, yes, to provide management training as well as a mastermind group. That is the 5P inner circle. So when you go to 5paragraph.com right now, you will see in the high left, or in the high right, you're going to see log in, you're going to see 5P inner circle. That is our online learning experience. Our templates, our tutorials, all of that is in the 5P inner circle. And beyond that, we provide one-on-one advisor sessions, full-day workshops, up to 3-day custom learning experiences. Our goal is to come in and empower your entire organization. Get everyone onto the same page. Go to 5paragraph.com right now. You'll see what I'm talking about. And you can read
You definitely have me sold in the 5-paragraph mindset. Absolutely. I'm now quite of a writer, but the whole deal of having to do this with video tutorials with 5 paragraphs and just have that one-on-one approach and support with someone like you, that just really sells it out to myself, who sometimes the ideas are a little bit all over the place. Michael, let me take a moment to acknowledge a couple of our guests. Participating on Facebook and one on YouTube. Hi, Shelly. I want to say hi. She's saying, hi, guys. Great show. Thank you. Also, Dali is asking a question. Is your paragraph better for startups, entrepreneurs, or established business owners looking to pivot or up their game a little bit? So who is your paragraph, 5-paragraph plan a little bit more targeted towards?
Oh, great question. Okay. All right. The book is targeted towards entrepreneurs. If you don't know where to start, just getting started out right now, go to 5paragraph.com, get the book. If you are looking to do a pivot, if you're looking to grow overall, if you're looking for organizational development, then go to 5paragraph.com, click on join the inner circle right now. You'll have access to our templates, online learning experience, everything that you need, as well as access to me, right? And any other 5P advisors. Now, that is for a small business owner who's looking to grow overall. If you're like, hey, man, I want this organizationally, all of our people, I totally get it. Go to 5paragraph.com, click on Hire 5P. Go to 5paragraph.com, click on Hire 5P. You're going to see how we have directly affected in a positive way these other organizations that are out there. We will help you out with a full-day workshop or a 3-day tailored learning experience or custom learning experience. So if you're looking to do it organizationally, go to 5paragraph.com right now, Hire 5P. But I'm telling you, it starts with a book, goes to the inner circle. You want to do an advisor session, you want us to come in and do the full organizational thing, we have it there. So go to 5.
That's great.
Yep.
Fabulous. I love it because you're the one-stop shop for all types of entrepreneurs, the early startups through everyone who is probably perhaps already successfully established, and they just need to continue with that mindset and continue to grow. Now, Dali did ask, how long would it take for someone to complete the entire program? And I know you did mention 3 months, but can you clarify on that when it comes to perhaps maybe a new startup?
Absolutely. So if you've got the book in front of you, and I will tell you right now that the book coincides with the tutorials that are inside of the 5P Inner Circle. So if you go to 5paragraph.com, you get the book, it's free. All we ask is shipping and handling. All right. And then you get 30 days free access to the 5P Inner Circle. If you're working on it and your full intent is to get your business plan laid out in front of you, well thought out, I would say that you could get it done within 72 hours. And that's thinking it through, putting the pieces in place. A lot of you that are out there, you don't even really know what questions to ask yet. So when you're going through, and here on top of it, I can tell you right now, if you think that I have the entirety of the minutia inside of this reference book, inside of here, you're absolutely wrong. You need to be able to go back through that material and be like, oh yeah, I've got to ask that question at that part of the plan. So in short, if you're intense about it, I would say, and you're thinking it through, I would say that it would take you a good 3 days of study to get through all of the learning experiences and put it all into motion. If you're like me, you enjoy absorbing that stuff, you enjoy working through the templates, I would say that it's going to be a matter of hours. Within one solid work day, you're going to be able to absorb everything that's in there. But you'll see, join the inner circle, and you'll see our templates that are in there. They're very easy to use. You use the immediate action plan. It's a 1-page. You write the immediate action plan. Team goes out and does stuff. So you'll see how you can start knocking out those immediate priority targets right away. If you go to 5.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. So we have an action plan. We have tutorials. We have also your support. We have the free book that it's a guide for entrepreneurs and individuals who are trying to start something. So I love that you provide different areas of support. Now, aside from your 5paragraph.com, if we were to go back a little bit to your early stages of developing your business, what are some action items that you will share that you may, advise that you would like to share with some of those either looking into it or just brainstorming? What are some action items that you can share with a few of us who are thinking about entrepreneurship or business that you found it yourself to be successful?
Sure. First is focus on your strengths. I understand the desire to go out as far as your passion that's out there. Okay, when you are first starting out, it's easy for people to lose focus. One of the first things that we do is we highlight what is the problem opportunity that you wish to go and tackle. The bigger the problem, the more passionate you'll be about it. That's probably one reason why I joined the Marine Corps Infantry and wanted to go be a part of the fight. So figuring out what that problem opportunity is, that definitely helps you to strive forward and continue to move with a purpose. There are times in entrepreneurship where you are putting in the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears, all behind the scenes, and you're wondering whether or not it's actually going to be worth it. That is the add value quotient that you have to put in, right? So, until you put your hands to something and really start generating and creating something, no one else is going to take you seriously, right? So this is the same thing that I tell brand new entrepreneurs all the time. Manifest destiny. Pull it out of your head, put it down on paper. Okay, if you build it, they will come. Doesn't have anything to do with the audience in the ballpark. It has everything to do with the team that is going to help you construct it. When you start putting up the ball diamond and the backstop and all of this other stuff, the team is going to start to come around you and going to start to help you put it together. So if you're the one, the entrepreneur, and you want to actually grow this thing on your own, you're the one who's going to have to start doing things on your own. And it starts with manifest destiny, putting it down on paper so that somebody else can go off of your vision. In here, we talk a great deal about commander's intent. And when you give people what the intention is and the big, huge desired end state goal, when you give them those things, they will really be able to help you. They're going to be able to pick up in their own strength base. So when you're that entrepreneur, you're focusing on your own strengths to be able to add that value into the team. But no one knows what to focus on until you actually have the manifest destiny out of your head, until you actually put it down on paper. See, so that's me. I put it down on paper, problem opportunity. I focus on my strengths and then add value with my tribe. And I expect them to heap their value into it as well. So
perfect. So definitely write it down, put your vision to action, and get support and get all the right resources, either through the Veteran Chamber of Commerce, through 5program.com. Connect us all. We're all one unit. We're here to support you. And I'm going to bring in Joe so that he can also close us in and work us. And also, in addition, so that we can ask Michael together, what is one thing that we can help and we continue to support you? Joe.
Well, thank you very much, Laura, for hosting the show, and Michael for your very clear explanation of what it is that you do and what got you to where you are today. And you're right, especially nowadays, employers are missing the point on the talent. Having employee-focused leadership is key. I mean, we have, like you mentioned, the founder, the godfather of management. I mean, we use the same principles today, and they have not changed. So it's in implementing, and the twist that you have given it to the leadership approach is awesome. I like it a lot. I'm sure it's going to be very beneficial for employers to do that. And we will love to work with you as we have a veteran-friendly, veteran-focused certification program for employers. I would like to collaborate with you and kind of bring you on board in collaboration to those employers can also receive that designation as a veteran-friendly type of employers. That'd be great. But again, I wanted to thank you for participating on the show. the information that you provide us is a huge. It will create a huge impact in the community. Now, how we support our veterans is by collaboration. Always by collaboration. So working with you, working with us and Laura, and we can create programs and projects that benefit the veteran community. Thank you very much, and I'll give it back to Laura for closing.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for that. And Michael, just really quick as we wrap up, I just wanted to ask you a question we ask everyone: what's coming next for you, and what can we do to support you?
Oh, absolutely. What we are striving to do is get in organizationally with business retreats. Okay, so if you're looking to organize a business retreat and you wish to employ the military management method, go to 5paragraph.com right now, click on Hire 5P. What we love doing is coming and talking to audience members about how their entire organization can be affected by the military management method by empowering leaders throughout their entire organization. So go to 5paragraph.com right now, click on Hire 5P, see how we've already helped out other folks. We would love to come into your business retreats. So get in touch with us. You can see all of our contact information when you go to 5paragraph.com, click on Hire 5P, go for it, check it out, as well as scroll through 5paragraph.com, get a feel for who we are and where we're coming from. See the background in military operations work. My TED Talk's on there. You can go through and check that out. Check out the 5P podcast, which is at the bottom of 5paragraph.com. Go see the testimonials. Go see what other people are saying about 5P. Don't just take my word for it. Go to 5paragraph.com, see for yourself.
Thank you so much for that. And I just want to remind the audience, all you got to do is just really connect with Michael Penney on LinkedIn, and so that can really connect you to all of the great assets he has to contribute to the business community, and most importantly to this amazing product that you definitely need to take advantage of. I know I will. I'm going to go in there and explore it because I need definitely that mindset, organizational mindset of the military for me to stay focused. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you for this, for all of your great information and everything else that you did. Thank you for our audience who put some comments and visited us. And also, if you watch this as a replay, make sure that you make comments and connect, and we'll be happy to connect you as well with Michael Penney as well as any of our previous guests. This is episode 9 of the Veteran Radio Show. Thank you for watching.